everybody, what's going on tonight? I'm doing fine, I hope you are too. This is going to be a response video to Dalyxman. Dalyxman, for those of you that don't know, great guy, does great reviews, does a lot of very, very thought-provoking, specific topic type videos. Gonna put his link down in the description box. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. He made a video a little while ago basically asking everybody like me who hasn't hopped on the, let's all hate on Randy Orton bandwagon, why do you like him? Why do you think he's great? Why do you think he's wonderful? Whatever. First of all, I want to make it clear, this is not a shot at him or at the people that have decided they don't like Randy Orton. That's fine. Second of all, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a ridiculously huge Randy Orton mark. I'm not going to sit here in my chair and say Randy Orton's the greatest wrestler of all time. I'm not going to say that he's even my favorite wrestler, because he's far, far, far from it. What I have done here is I've come up with the basic 5 points of why I think I enjoy Randy Orton as a wrestler. So, just in bullet point form, here they are. Point 1. In wrestling, most of the time, you've basically got, other than the guys that are, lame and you just don't give a shit about, there's, heels and faces and, things go as they go. There's people that reach a certain point where either they don't really fit into the heel or face category, or they are so big that their stardom, their persona, whatever you want to say, is beyond the labeling of face or heel. In the past, you've got guys like Austin, guys like Shawn Michaels, guys like Ric Flair, Undertaker, most recently CM Punk. There could be an argument made for CM Punk right now. Is he a face, or is he a really, really popular heel? Because he's got elements of both. And I think, as much as most people aren't going to agree with me, Randy Orton fits that mold to a T. And you need guys like that. You need guys like that because in the main event scene, which is dwindling in WWE, is it not, you need a guy that can have an equally convincing rivalry with a face as he can with a heel. And Randy Orton can do that, for sure. Point 2. I really, really take issue with the fact that Randy Orton doesn't let anybody else shine in the ring. Once again, that's somebody like John Cena. Prime example, this past week would be Heath Slater. No, Randy Orton slaughtered Heath Slater because Heath Slater's brand fucking new, and Randy Orton is established, and it makes sense like that. It would be like, friggin', I don't know who, Yoshitatsu going up against Shawn Michaels. You wouldn't expect Yoshitatsu to win. Shawn Michaels might let him win, because he's a good guy, but whatever. Now, Randy Orton, my second point being, lets the guys that deserve it look good. Let's look back to when he was on Raw and the amazing series he had with Kofi Kingston. Let's look at the most recent rivalry he's had right now with Christian. As much as I'm a Christian fan, Orton has elevated Christian beyond what we would have thought of Christian before it all happened. And still, to this day, I do not care how many people disagree with me, Randy Orton and CM Punk was the match of this past year's WrestleMania. Sorry to all the Undertaker and Triple H fans out there, but it has to be said. That's that. 3. Randy Orton has a unique psychology in the ring, and I don't mean psychology just in its most literal sense. He does go into the ring looking like he's nuts, looking like he's not quite all there, looking like he's either lost his shit or he's on something. That unpredictable, like that glimmer in his eye, if I want to be really, really cliche about it. Not only that, the way he reacts, the way his reflexes are, the way he moves his body in the ring is animal-like. It is snake-like, The viper moves like a snake. It sounds very cliche, but it's so very true. Like, I don't know how to say it other than he doesn't move like a person. He moves like a predator. So yeah, I've used the viper cliche, I've used the apex predator cliche, but they fit, and there's nobody else in the wrestling world, at least nowadays, that moves and puts on a match like Randy Orton does. Quite simply, he is not John Cena. That is point 4, and that has got to be one of the biggest points that most people put out there that drives me absolutely nuts. Randy Orton looks like a wrestler. John Cena looks like an action figure. Randy Orton can wrestle and does let some people shine and has a sense of psychology. John Cena does none of these things. And on a personal note, John Cena being as invincible as he is, before CM Punk, the last person that WWE let look like a legitimate threat to John Cena was Randy Orton. Randy Orton and John Cena dominated the main event scene seemingly forever, but I was happy that at least half the time Randy Orton was getting the upper hand, because it meant John Cena was not fully invincible. Oh, yes. Last point, and this is something I tried to put into words, I tried to put into written words. I can't really explain properly. There is an element that has been passed down through certain wrestlers. It started with Ric Flair. It started with Shawn Michaels. Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, both in their own way, passed this element on to Triple H. Triple H, in turn, passed this on to Randy Orton. And to complete that cycle, Randy Orton has now passed it on to Cody Rhodes. Which is why Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton would be one of the greatest matches the WWE could possibly put on right now, because they all have it. I don't know what to call it. It's almost as if, you know, from Fortune to DX to Evolution to Legacy to, you know, however you want to pass it down, there is that element that has been passed down, that intangible, that unnameable, unique sort of family of wrestlers have it. And Randy Orton has it, and don't ask me to tell you what it is, because I can't put a name to it, I can't put a face to it, I can't clarify it or identify it, but it is there. That thing that you could see in Ric Flair, that you could see in Shawn Michaels, that you could see got even more intense in Triple H, has passed through Randy Orton. Not only to Randy Orton, but through him to a guy like Cody Rhodes, and he has it. And that's it. I hope I've said, you know, appropriately what I wanted to say. Dalyxman, thanks for giving me a video to respond to. You guys, I've been Spaz. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, let me know what you think. Q&A questions can go in the moderator, and I will talk to you guys later.